Hey everybody, welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarian. Of course, I'm joined by the Jack LaLanne, our professional wrestling podcast, Mr. Rich Stambolian.
What's up to all my mole people and all my boot scooters out there?
Mole people?
Yeah.
I see a lot of mole people during the day.
Yeah.
There's a ton of mole people out.
We could be king of the mole people.
I think we are.
All right. Fair enough.
You know, when I go to Manhattan, I just open my arms up. It parts the streets with all the mole people coming out and just open traffic.
Mole people, hillbillies, Morlocks.
Morlocks.
We're the kings of the Morlocks.
Dude, you know what? Have you ever seen any of the meet and greets that we used to do?
Oh, yeah. That was a lot of fun, though.
Those were a lot of fun. Guys, a lot to talk. We were off last week. You know what? Rich was on vacation. He went away for a little bit. I was going to do something. My week got crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? I won't do it. I did my new podcast on F4W last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first episode of We're Live, Pal, with Garrett Gonzalez and Denise Salcedo. A lot of fun with that one. We were off this week because Garrett was traveling, and I kind of don't like breaking things up when we initially begin. My buttons are all big. I got big buttons.
You got a big boy with big buttons.
I told you that guy was like, "Hey, big boy."
He wasn't like,
he's on my
hey,
tight checking.
big boy.
No, he was a weird dude.
Like he was trying to like mommy you.
I'm gonna be like, "Hi, mommy."
Oh, dude.
What have you done,
Dude?
What's your reaction to that? You
know why? Your eyebrows make you look very approachable.
My eyebrows. You know what's really funny? I've figured out generationally, there's an acceptance of the eyebrows.
Yeah.
But if you're under like 16, you have no clue. You don't get them.
Right.
You don't get the eyebrows. Listen, I've been stuck with them. It's not by choice. I didn't pick these eyebrows. The universe did.
Big boy buttons for
big
the
boy.
big boy.
So there's a lot to talk about here today. Aleister Black debuted in AEW. We're going to talk about that.
Super cool.
Michaela Black, right?
Don't you work with a girl named Michaela Black?
I do work with a Michaela Black. So we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Obviously, we have some news. I do have some WWE news on the network side.
Awesome.
I was told something, so we'll talk about that. Rich, where do you want to go?
Yes, sir. Let's start with whenever we post stuff, whether it's news or not, people love nostalgia. People love this stuff, especially with our generation. People love the stuff that was like that really did it for them when they were kids. So this week apparently is the 25th year anniversary of the formation of the NWO, and let me tell you, I feel like this shit happens every month where somebody will be like, today was the day
I know,
the third man was revealed.
Every day is a anniversary. Yeah, 25th anniversary of the formation of the NWO. Before the Aleister Black stuff, this was going to be the big story that we were going to talk about. But there's a lot here to kind of break down where, like you think about this, and this is a question that I present to everybody. If it didn't happen, if that concept never happened, right? Hall and Nash still go to WCW, but they do their own individual thing. Maybe they do a tag team thing, but it doesn't become the NWO, this juggernaut that propelled pro wrestling in the 90s.
Right.
What would the evolution of pro wrestling been?
I think something else would have taken its place. I don't know, like whatever took its place would be equally as big, but who's to say what that was? Maybe Hogan starts carrying a pistol or something.
Let me shoot something, brother.
I'm shooting.
Observe this, Dave, and just takes it out. Boom, boom. I think we would have still gone into this like more adult feel because that was the 90s. The whole entertainment industry was changing with more raunchiness, more adult-based content.
Yeah.
I think we would have seen that change, but I don't think wrestling would have propelled into this hot commodity. Like the whole, like think about it, like the whole Austin thing.
Yeah.
Derived from needing to do something like this.
I think so. I think it was like the competition breeds innovation, and I think that's what a lot of this era in pro wrestling was. If it wasn't Hogan, I feel like who would have been the biggest person they could have got if it wasn't Hogan?
I don't think it would have worked. I don't think it would have worked to its capacity.
Flair, Mach,
Savage. Okay, Savage, but Savage is not. Savage is already you
too
look
cartoony.
At him, he's too cartoony, too much of a crazy person.
Let me preface that by saying Hogan super cartoony. Like Nash and Hall played the cool guys. But Hogan came in.
It's Captain America.
Yeah.
You know what it was? Yeah. It was Captain America taking his shirt off, and he has a hammer and a chisel,
like a Hydra. He's the Hydra.
Neck behind, behind him. He's a communist sympathizer. I mean, it's such a straight out of the, like, if you think about it, the ultimate good guy got poisoned by money and success.
Hollywood, baby.
Hollywood. I mean, it was so, I remember watching it because I had an older cousin that like knew something was going to happen. So my cousin was like, hey, listen, something big's happened. I mean, I was old enough to know, but I wasn't like following the forums in 96, you know? And like Heenan, when Hogan came out, I was like, oh crap, he's going to be the bad guy. And then Heenan telling me that it might be Hogan, right?
Right.
Hogan's the outsider. I was like, oh, it's definitely not. It's Luger or it's Sting. Like, I remember thinking that, and Hogan just does that leg drop. And, you know, Hogan gets so much crap for his in-ring ability.
Yeah.
But his timing is impeccable.
His timing is impeccable. Do you think he's the guy who is the most, who can say, no, brother, this is the pace we're working?
Yeah.
Because there's a story that Kevin Nash told where like Kevin Nash was trying to do all this shit.
Great story.
And Hogan gets him in a headlock and goes, listen, we got him already.
We got their money already. Slow
we
down.
don't got to do anything, you know? Especially if you're in front of like 20,000 people in an arena and you're the main event and you're Hogan, you can walk out there and look at Rock Hogan, perfect example.
Yeah.
Nothing happened for the first 5 minutes.
A majority of the match.
Right.
But it was still a brilliant match.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give Hogan some credit here. You know, was he the greatest worker? Absolutely not. I don't think there's an argument for that. But could he pull out a unbelievable match?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know if
psychology,
we were talking,
dude.
Was it us talking or was somebody else? I think I was talking to someone in WWE about this, okay?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? I got to tell you. I go, Hogan Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
I could still watch that match from, not 98, obviously. I could still watch WrestleMania 6 and be like, you know what? This match could work today. That match, if it was a WrestleMania today, that is that match that could work by today. And there's not too many Hogan matches that you could do that to, but start watching those like big mega Hogan matches, like the last 10 years of his career, 15 years of his career, like the Rock era matches. I can't remember him having a terrible match.
Oh, dude, like
the Randy Orton match wasn't great. The Shawn one,
I love that match.
You know what? It is polarizing, that match, but it was fun.
Yes.
I know Shawn was trying to stick it to him, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
I don't think you could really look at those matches and be like, "Oh, Hogan was terrible." He's not a worker by today's standards.
Yeah.
But as a big man, people forget this guy was 6'6", 6'7", right? How tall is this guy?
He was 6'8".
He's 6'8".
He's a big dude.
I mean, whatever real height he is, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too. Like Hall and Nash, circling back to the NWO thing. Like Hall and Nash are also big dudes. Like Nash is like what, like legit, like 6'11".
Nash, yeah, he's a big dude.
Same thing. Scott Hall 6'8", Hogan 6'8". So you have these three towers who are like this centerpiece, this focal point of this new group. The Hogan thing's interesting.
And they really were outsiders.
They really were.
Yeah.
The Hogan match quality thing is very interesting because in that later WWE run, this is my one gripe. When I was like, come on, was when he would take a choke slam and couldn't jump.
No, he could.
And it was just like,
Hogan
falling backwards.
Hogan had no vertical.
No.
Except he used it all. It was like special meter.
Yeah.
He used it all for that goddamn leg drop.
I think that's adrenaline. I think the leg was adrenaline. Yeah, like the Hogan is so fascinating. Guys, if you've never watched the show before, we love to discuss not only like it's mostly the zaniness of this person.
Can I tell you, have you ever seen the other side of that tape that got released? That other version? Where he's just in his jammies and he's doing leg drops on the bed?
No.
That's all it was like 25 minutes of that.
That's how he gets ready instead of
him in like a nightcap. Yeah.
He's like
a sleeping cap and like an old school PJ set, like with the buttons and everything. He's just doing leg drops.
He's looking like Scrooge?
Oh, look at these leg drops, brother.
Do you think that he thought that whole sex video was a dream?
It's a work, brother.
Like it was like Christmas Carol.
I mean, not poor guy, but I mean, it's still a crappy thing that his buddy recorded him banging his wife. I mean, ridiculous. What absurdity, the whole thing.
If I turn around and was like, hey man, call me Bubba the Love Sponge. Don't trust me.
Don't
trust that guy,
A guy named Bubba the Love Sponge.
Right. Like, don't trust that guy,
He, But the whole thing, I mean, his comments on that tape are absurd. The fact that tape exists is absurd. The way that tape got filmed and released and who he was sleeping. I mean, the whole thing is, my God, what a storyline. Ridiculously unbelievable. So let's see. Where are we now?
We're still on Hogan. Guys,
quick. So, who do you think could have worked?
Now that we've been doing the show for 10 years or whatever. Now that and I feel like this is something that we always come back to. And at this point, I'm of the opinion that it would have had to have been somebody huge from another company.
I don't think that could have been anybody else.
Well, who was main eventing WWE at the time? WWF at the time.
Who's main eventing? It was them, right? Brett. You know what? Brett. But it wouldn't have worked. It would not have worked.
You don't think that would have been like a huge coup, or do you think Brett would have been too serious about it?
I think Brett would have been too serious about it.
Okay. Shawn
would have worked, but I don't think it would have had the impact because remember, Shawn was a bad guy.
I think that would have been, if it was Shawn Michaels, I think it would have been the most wild thing on the planet, right? Because these guys got carte blanche to do whatever they wanted. So imagine Hogan, Savage in the ring. Same match.
Yeah.
Right? They're going at it. All of a sudden, Hogan goes for the leg, gets super kicked
by Shawn
Michaels.
Oh, it was a screw job.
Right.
You know what?
Savage gets up, super kick.
Oh, and so Hogan was going to turn.
Right. But Shawn ends up being the guy.
Shawn. So they screwed Hogan. They tricked Hogan. So but you know what though? You just killed the character.
Why? You get all these amazing tags.
I'm so angry, brother.
Hogan Savage versus all these dudes,
But Hogan was turning. Right? Hogan was going to drop the leg on Savage. It's fascinating, dude. You know what? That could have been something, but I don't think anybody would have had the impact of those three guys. Okay. And it changed the industry. I mean, it really did. 25 years ago, unbelievable. And it took 2 years from that point for everything to really boom.
Yeah.
97, late 97, mid to mid 98 was just insanity with wrestling.
Super fascinating, man. I think we could be headed towards that direction again, where it just could be getting like nuts.
Listen, there's an argument. I was talking to somebody the other day. There's an argument to be said. Hogan is still responsible for the boom in the industry. For everything. I mean, really, it's fascinating. Like there was no Bruno and there was no Hogan. I don't know what wrestling would be.
Definitely Mount Rushmore, right?
Really? Really.
I think wrestling would have still been the same. I think it would have the same as like it was pre that and post that, But for some reason, like, this guy just like attracted like millions and millions of people and crossed over and like, very wild, big personality, big dude. Nobody saw muscles like that on a guy. Bodybuilding wasn't as popular, right?
Yeah,
movie stars weren't jacked.
Yeah, fitness wasn't as popular.
Yeah,
healthy body.
Right.
Your
most jacked movie star in the 80s at that time was probably Arnold, maybe Stallone.
Probably, yeah.
So like people were still like, wow, look at that. People didn't know how to work out until the late 90s.
Nobody lifted a weight. Yeah. So very interesting stuff. Also, Del Wilkes, the Patriot, passed away, 59 years old. He had a fascinating story. He did that Austin podcast a couple years ago where he spoke about I think he claimed 135 pain pills a day, Vicodins or Percocets a day. A lot of those guys from that era, they really lived a hard lifestyle, and it seems like he was doing well in his later years. He was selling cars. Seems like his life had kind of turned around, but the damage you do to your body over those years, it comes and gets you.
Super young.
Good friend of Bob Hazelwood, or good friend of ours and a viewer of the show. So our condolences to him and everybody else. Always terrible to hear, but you know what? A lot of those guys are gonna suffer like this.
I hope not.
It was the era, man. It was definitely the era. And listen, Terry Funk, another great thing. Terry is in an assisted living facility right now.
Yeah.
Because his health is kind of all over the place. He has some good days and some bad days. So a lot of people were discussing. And you know what? Another guy, if Hogan never came around, I think Terry Funk would have been a very different discussion in the late mid 80s, late 80s.
Funk was awesome, man.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable guy.
Terry Funk was incredible. Like, imagine if the third man was Terry Funk.
You rotten piece of garbage.
He shows up with the flaming cattle prod.
Great, man. You know what I watched? Do you remember that last appearance he had with Foley during the Foley? It was the Edge thing.
Yeah.
And he's cut. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
My God.
So good.
So good.
Those two guys, right?
And he's firing up, and his one arm is down, and he's doing those one-arm punches like so freaking good. Holy moly.
Crazy. What a dude.
Yeah. Hey, guys, Super Chat. If you guys have questions, hit up the Super Chat. You could do whatever you want to fund us, and we'll be sure to prioritize your questions here at the end of the show. So hit the Super Chat button and fund us while we do this live. July 23rd, SmackDown will feature a split site. This is fascinating. Some of the matches are going to be held at Rolling Loud Festival in Miami. Rolling Loud, for people who don't know, is this gigantic festival that incorporates, a lot of hip hop and EDM music. It's a humongous thing. Actually, tell you later.
Okay.
Never mind.
All right. Fair enough.
This is pretty interesting. I know that Rolling Loud has been attempting this for like 2 years now to get this show going in Miami because of everything that happened with the pandemic. So fascinating to see WWE partnering with them. This is them trying to new strategy.
Yes.
Partner with younger, cooler products.
When you sent me that graphic, I was like, oh, they're partnering with Rolling Rock?
Loud.
Like the beer. Because they've
been
doing
Bud
like the Bud Light thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people don't know what Rolling Loud is. It's one of the bigger music festivals in the country. The guys that put it together really have been doing a great job with this, and it's been very successful. But this is a new strategy for them. WWE doesn't partner with people like this, with events like this.
No, it's
this is
so
out
insular.
of there. They'll always partner with like a network or a major mainstream event. Like this is not as mainstream. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool. It's a really cool festival. But for WWE to be like, hey, listen, we're gonna partner with these guys. It's a new strategy for them.
Just wait until they promote with a Firefest.
The Firefest?
Like some kind of Firefest deal. And then it's over.
I find this to be fascinating. This was part of a conversation that I had with somebody over there about a new strategy for partnerships with different type of brands that are kind of out of their bubble. Because remember, that festival is all 20s, right?
Right.
So you are now going to have the nostalgia of the kids that grew up on John Cena, Randy Orton, Edge. It's not us.
Right.
It's
even Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, even.
Yeah.
It's like they know these guys. But if they were kids, if you're 25 years old, when you're 15, 13, it's all John Cena, Edge, Randy Orton, those dudes. So Batista. So I think this is interesting for them to do. And I think this is going to be another way to kind of get their brand out there to different avenues. And this is, by the way, this is a new focus.
Yes.
They've always attempted this. Remember the MTV stuff? That was their focus. I mean, we're back 20-something years ago. Go back to what worked.
It's very interesting, and that's such a fascinating point too. Because will it work? Won't it work? Who knows? They're trying to capture that youth market again.
You know what? They'll get great visuals if everybody isn't effed up on ketamine.
Oh,
and every other drug at that festival.
So Transferring Heat podcast mentioned something interesting. So
don't ever mention them ever again.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
You know what? F you guys. The Vince was at that Chappelle show, that Chappelle live show a couple weeks ago. Right?
Who did he take the photo with?
He took the photo with
what character do you play?
Ashley Larry.
Ashley Larry. There you go. He took a photo with Ashley Larry.
I forgot the dude's name. I'm sorry.
I love you.
Yeah. And do you think, because of the youth movement thing, do you think he was like, Dave, I got an offer you can't refuse?
He loves Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
So, by the way, he loves comedy.
Right.
He loves stand-up comedy.
Do you think he's going to try to work Chappelle into one of these things?
He's Jack, though, Chappelle.
Yeah. It would be amazing.
Now I'm not driving. Skip's driving. He's driving a little crazy.
It would be amazing if he combined this outside interest to get to start trying to be young and hip again.
With Dave Chappelle's, but he only likes Dave Chappelle's comedy from 2000. Gun stole, liquor store, gun stole. What's the thinking me? I saw Baby. I said, Baby, stop selling weed. You got your whole life ahead of you.
Nice, man. Nice.
Baby looked at me and said, I can't say the rest. F you. I got kids to feed.
Yeah. You can't say the rest.
I cannot say.
But you can say that you would vote for Obama for a third term.
Third term. That was the funniest thing ever.
Oh,
shout out to Shin for that joke.
I want you to just say that to everybody. Regardless.
Oh, hi there, friends.
Regardless
one
of
those?
race, creed, or color. Just anybody.
Just randomly.
Super uptight
white guy. That's my new gimmick. Enchante's, you know what happened? Back to the bump on the head, dude. Enchante gets bumped on the head, falls from the apron, wakes up. He's like hovering up. His chest is like, oh, very uptight.
Oh, so good.
He's like a Quaker.
So good.
All right.
We're at
Dude, you know what? I haven't seen Rich in a freaking week, so I'm getting at all my corny ass jokes that I would send him.
It'd be great. I'm having a good time.
And the rest of the show is going to be in Cleveland. MSG officially announced for September 10th. This is an interesting thing. So pre-sale starts today. I have not bought my tickets. I gotta buy tickets for this thing, or I gotta get tickets from them.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this is interesting. So a lot of people freaked out that WWE is forcing the attendees to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with WWE. This is an arena thing. MSG. So MSG Group, which owns Tao Group also here in New York, right? People know Tao, the restaurant.
Yeah.
Very, very well known. Lavo, another very well known.
Yeah.
MSG purchased this hospitality group, right?
Wow, yeah.
And they sent out a memo saying that every one of their venues in New York City has to require vaccines. Okay, everybody has to be vaccinated. I can tell you, I don't think they're adhering to this because they got a lot of backlash from people. Because there were people that wrote, he's like, "Listen, I'm recovering. I'm recovering from ovarian cancer.
Mm-hmm.
It was advised I don't get it, or I'm nursing. It was advised I don't get it. You tell me I can't eat at your restaurant." So it caused a little stir up here with this. But I can tell you, this is a corporate policy from MSG. This is a Jimmy Dolan thing, the guy that owns the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Owns the Garden. Owns all these things. This is a MSG thing. I don't know if this will affect ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
If the demand is there, it won't affect it. You know,
right,
that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that they ran that Foo Fighters concert.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it was a vaccinated only event.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you. I know about 20, 30 people that went. They are not vaccinated to their concert. So I don't know if it was incompetence with checking at the door, if it was them not caring, or if it was that they had, they gimmicked up the vaccine cards. I had no idea.
They paid for the vaccine card where they can get the free vaccine.
Hey, listen, here's a 20. Get me in.
I feel like when they originally announced that, they did like the vaccinated section and the unvaccinated section.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Okay.
They're not doing that anymore because they realize they can't conduct business that way. So I don't know if WWE's happy about this. We'll find out. We'll see.
Yes.
Yes. Jimmy Uso arrested again for DUI.
Oos
no, man. Ran a red light doing 55 and a 35, so 20 miles over the speed limit.
Yeah.
According to Dave Meltzer, possible repercussions for this. He was off TV for a while with the last one. Do you remember?
Yeah, dude.
I think it was almost like 6 months.
Yeah. If I'm not going to judge the guy, but I also feel like it's a little dumb on his part.
Listen, very stupid. His fourth one, apparently. Fourth arrest or fourth, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I think it was third or fourth.
In the last couple of years.
One of them he was found not guilty of because it was a different situation. But listen, not a good image, right? I don't know many people that have been pulled over 4 times for a DWI or DUI in a matter of 24 months or 3 years.
I do.
Listen, I know a couple also, but it's not a common thing. I saw a lot of people saying like, well, he needs to get help. He has a problem. Listen, I don't want to jump to any conclusions about his personal life, and I stay quiet about these things.
Yeah.
I'll only read it now because it's a main story, but I'm not going to dig into the personal life of somebody.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that are not, are they idiots? Yes. Are they alcoholics? No.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know his situation. A lot of people ask me like, do you think he has an alcohol problem? I'm like,
that's very
even
weird,
even if I was told that, I would never discuss something like that. I think that these are personal issues that these guys are facing. And I try not to talk about that, but this is a story. It is what it is. I hope that he doesn't continue doing this.
Right. And also times are different now. So
Dude, you can't get away with that.
Anytime you see something like this, people jump to a million
Also,
conclusions.
Rich, you want to know how it's stupidity.
It is
more
stupid.
than anything else. You know why? There's Uber available.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, he's a successful guy. He makes good money.
Yeah.
He makes good money. He's somewhat famous. He is famous. He's a celebrity.
Yeah.
You're making a good living. I know people that make a fraction of what this guy makes, and you know what? They guarantee if they're going out drinking, they're taking a freaking Uber.
Dude, absolutely.
There's no reason why. I really, $50 for an Uber, worth it 1,000 times more. I take an Uber from Manhattan. Sometimes it costs me $120.
Yeah, dude, it's very expensive.
You know what I mean? But I would rather pay $120 than to be hit with a $12,000, fine for DWI and possibly kill somebody,
right? Or
hurt somebody or whatever. It comes with maturity. Yeah. We've all done stupid stuff. I think if you are involved in nightlife and going out, if you were young enough, you did something really stupid. I'm not going to judge him, but he's a 30-something-year-old man.
Right.
And we're beyond stupidity at this point. We can't do something like that. So you know what? I hope he learned his lesson again.
Yeah. Where we when we were in Maine last week, our resort was a mile from everything.
Yeah.
So we were drinking one day, like, just partying, having fun.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's just take a lift into town.
Perfect.
That's
the way to do it.
A mile away, I feel like
you have to bell.
You have to make that decision of like either it's only a mile, we'll be fine, or listen, it's a mile, anything could happen. Let's just get a car ride. Yeah. And that's it. We ended up walking back. It was awesome.
Yeah. Perfect. What else you got, Rich?
All right. So, we're done with the Jimmy Uso stuff. We got SmackDown, Edge returning.
You think you know me?
I think I do know you. Edge returns. He's going to challenge Roman Reigns for the title at Money in the Bank. I'm looking forward to that match big time. I think that should be fun. What do you think the plans are for this?
For Edge?
Yeah, because he doesn't have to beat Roman.
No, but he has to have it get costed. The win he cannot win, but it has to involve Rollins in some way because Rollins is in that mix also with Roman. So this is going to ultimately lead to a Rollins match.
Okay.
Listen, dude, I think that's great.
All right, fair enough. It would be cool if Edge won though.
That would be really cool if Edge won, and then the title match. Yeah, but that would what does Roman do? What does Roman do?
He packs all his stuff on one of those hobo sacks. And he starts hitching the rails.
If Edge does somehow win, and you have the match be Edge and Rollins, and Cena now gets involved with Roman's, do something like that, you could. It's funny because Kenny Omega and him have the same gimmick right now that nobody could beat them. They beat everybody.
Yeah.
That's really the story here. And it is telling how WWE is going back to John Cena.
Yes.
And AEW is going to the future with Hangman Page. I find that fascinating. Listen, that's not a knock at WWE. I think doing it with Cena is a mega blockbuster.
Yeah. For sure.
It's an attraction more than anything else, and that's the business WWE's in. They're not in the business of doing 6-star matches. They're in the business of doing attractions.
Right.
Business. The business. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see Edge, man. I think he's phenomenal.
I do.
No, that's AJ. Sorry.
I do love Edge coming back, but I kind of get like fanboy goosebumps because I'm like, all right, cool. Edge is back. Edge versus Roman. Edge versus Seth. Edge versus anybody really. And then I don't know about you. I'm looking forward to John Cena returning.
Yeah.
Regardless of if it's a part-time or full-time schedule, I'd like to see the guy again and wrestle like big. He's at that Hogan position right now, right?
Yes.
Where a couple of big matches a year, couple of promos, and then people go home happy. He doesn't have to win. He doesn't have to lose.
Yeah. Yep.
And Zelina Vega.
Zelina showed up. People were upset with her.
Why?
Calling her a hypocrite.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, listen, are you paying her bills?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Are you cutting her a check every week to not work for the biggest, pro wrestling company in the world of all time?
It's funny.
I can't criticize her for going back.
It's so funny when these folks get criticized by people who forget that A, they're real people, and B, guess what? They worked real hard to get where they are.
Listen, here's the thing, right? She's getting criticized because of the whole unionization thing, right? Yeah. She made a tweet about unionizing. I think a lot of people and this is not a knock on unionization, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people hear the buzz phrases and they think it's better for them if this is the direction that they go in.
Yes.
But they haven't done much research in it. I'm not saying that that's the case for Zelina, but I do think that, when you're upset, you're going to say things that don't truly reflect what you're thinking if you had a calmer mind, right? So I'm sure she's all for it. Listen, a lot of people could be for unionization, but they realize that that's not a reality. And what is she supposed to do? Not work anymore over there? Maybe you don't know what kind of offer they gave her.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
We don't know the terms of the offer. I do know, however, that Alistair and her both had a meeting a week and a half ago there. A week ago, maybe a week ago, because when I spoke to someone over there, they thought this was going to be a package deal when they saw them both, in a meeting. So I tweeted, and by the way, it was my own personal thought.
Yeah.
I should have put an apostrophe in that tweet. Did you see? I wrote something. Did you read it? It was hysterical, actually.
If it was last week, I was dead to the world.
I think I wrote something like, "The blacks have returned."
Oh boy. Like
and
that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It was like the Curb. I gotta find this dude, because I was like, you know what?
And you would have voted for Obama for a third.
Listen, third term, guys, third term. Oh, by the way, Dominic just posted a great image of him and Ray in LWO shirts.
Oh wow.
Oh, they look awesome.
That'd be cool.
Hold on, let me find this, because listen.
Can I take over for a little bit while you find this? Before you dig that hole deeper. I imagine, in my head, it like people were like so speculative about like them showing up, but it's like taking your wife to the doctor and you just hang out.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you here for?" I was like, "I just drove her."
One would expect blacks returning.
Oh boy.
So I got a bunch of black guys. They're like, "We're returning," and it's like emoji. I thought it was, dude. This is why you got to do spell check.
Yeah, man.
It was hysterical. So I honestly thought, I was like, listen, Zelina's there. They're married. They're going to be traveling again.
Yeah.
If it was me, I would try to stay together in the traveling. I would argue for that, but maybe that wasn't in the plans. Listen, or the option was like, listen, we'll let you go from your 90 day, and he's like, yeah, I'll take it. This is my one chance.
Yeah.
We don't know, but Zelina's on SmackDown, and Zelina's on SmackDown, and Alistair Black is on AEW now, which we're going to get to. Malakai Black. Mordecai Black. I don't know why people are losing their minds right now about the vaccination thing. I'm just telling you, this is people are like trying to tell me it's a WWE thing on Twitter. It's not a WWE policy. If this was a WWE policy, a franchise policy, then you would see this across the board in every arena.
It's state by state.
If WWE could have their way, there would be no such thing as a vaccine or masks or the pandemic. None of this would have ever happened, and they'd be running normally.
What do you mean we can't?
This is a garden policy, and it's Jimmy Dolan deciding to do this. All right. What else do we have here?
I'm going to let you take over this one, the Raw rating, because you're the numbers guy.
I am the numbers guy. Not good. I'll tell you that. Listen, there's a lot of excuses you can make.
Yeah.
You could say that it was a federal holiday Monday. That's the day that we were technically observing the holiday because everybody was off. It was a beautiful day here in the Northeast. So, I mean, the excuses that why it did a 145 is that, it was a holiday. But listen, that's like saying like, my business is terrible and we did really bad today. Right. Because we were closed.
Yeah.
No, your business business is not doing tremendous. Your viewership numbers are not doing tremendous.
Yeah.
Cable viewership is changing. Viewership in total is changing. The way you score the popularity of a show doesn't necessarily rely just on Nielsen ratings and cable viewership.
Yeah.
I get all those excuses I've heard. But at the end of the day, if you were doing captivating content, you would have millions of viewers.
Yeah, I don't think they care, though.
No, listen, they do care. They do care. Because I know that the networks care. I don't know which network it was, but somebody told me that Steph has a meeting with one of the networks at the end of the month for pitched ideas from the network. So I don't know if this is a common thing that they do or this is a regular thing, but I know that the networks are pitching ideas. We saw the leaks. I was able to confirm that they're all 100% accurate with the suggested concepts like Raw Roulette returning, Legends Night. And the one thing that I don't see anybody recommending is Attitude Night. I have yet to see that, and am I the only one that thinks that they should replace the Legends and the Retro night with like an Attitude Era night?
I don't think you can get away with that because like
you don't have to go totally crazy, but change the ropes, do the intro, do the pyro like it was, change the whole look, change the guardrail instead of the foam.
People would expect the nuttiness, right? I think the closest thing they did to something kind of cool was a few years ago when you had that moment between Finn and Carl Anderson and Gallows with the DX guys, and they all too sweeted in the ring.
Yeah.
I think that was like as close as they would come to something like wild.
But see, like, but they still did, like, for whatever reason, they think the nostalgia for Raw is that early Raw. Like 93, 94
the
Raw.
Ico Pro Raw.
They think that's but that's not the nostalgia that people remember. Honestly, I think a lot of people are tired of that, and the big blow off for that was running the Hammerstein.
Yeah.
Right? That was their big thing to that. So why not go in a different direction here? I told you, you want to pop everybody? Have them come out with the older belts. Do that. But I know that that's a suggested idea, and numerous other wacky, zany concepts. So, by the way, we saw this with Fox. Fox already did this. Yeah. We talked about it a while ago. Where are we now? We saw the ratings.
Kofi versus Lashley at Money in the Bank. That should be fun.
That should be a lot of fun.
I like Kofi, man. I want Kofi to win that belt again.
Yeah.
Do you think that there should be a big surprise at Money in the Bank in order to pop the following day's rating?
I don't know. Maybe we might get something. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't asked about Money in the Bank. To be honest, I've been so busy for the last 2 weeks that I haven't really dug. But I know that they're people are coming back. You can see everybody's back now. Yeah,
and they made room with like unfortunately the folks that got fired and everything. Like I feel like there's plans in motion for like a couple of I'm not even gonna say big returns, but a couple of returns.
Yeah.
Like I don't really see anything major as far as a return goes, unless it's like a John Cena. I'm not even counting Goldberg as a giant return. I would count that as an appearance.
Yeah.
Like if he shows up, imagine if Goldberg showed up at Money in the Bank and climbed a ladder and got
I don't want to see him climb a ladder.
And he's got to hold that dopey suitcase for like 6 months.
His son's with him, hanging up shingles.
Sunberg.
Sunberg.
So this past Wednesday, NXT's Great American Bash aired. How'd you like the show?
I thought it was a really good show, man.
It's fun.
And I got to tell you, I watched it a little stoned.
Yeah, baby.
Jess and the kids are away. They went to Sesame Place.
Nice.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna chill out a little bit. I took a little edible.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the show. I got to tell you though, they're doing a good job at highlighting the next crop of talent.
For sure.
I don't listen. I'm not going into the argument if these guys are going to get over as much as a lot of the previous generation did. But I am going to say that they are attempting something with this roster. Look at this roster, right? These are all different names from a year ago.
Yeah.
You had NXT Tag Team Champions MSK, Wesley and Nash Carter defeating Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher to retain the titles. You're seeing that the Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa thing happening where they're having miscommunication. They're doing a bump-ins.
Yeah.
Listen, by the way, Ciampa looks
awesome.
Ridiculous. He got big.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting a little big. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, dude.
Everybody's getting a little big here.
Crowds are coming back. He's got like a Kota Ibushi body at this point.
Yeah, but he put on some size.
Yeah.
I mean, the transformation. And by the way, this guy is so vascular.
Vascular?
Vascular. Vascular. Unbelievable. Yeah. Looks great. Also, Thatcher looks good too.
Great match. I thought they were going to take it.
Yeah.
You had Karrion Kross and Johnny Gargano face to face, which got interrupted by Samoa Joe. I really hope they do Joe versus Kross.
I don't want to see Gargano and Karrion Kross.
Same here.
I honestly, this version of Gargano,
thumbs down, Ski.
Thumbs down, man.
Yeah.
I'm not into the way.
Yeah.
I think this was a detriment more than a positive. I know he's having fun,
right?
But
as a fan, not for you.
Listen, you know what? I think he's done everything he could have possibly done with his run in NXT.
I agree.
And it was such a beginning to end story with him, if you really look at it. Like how he started in that company and how it developed into the relationship with Ciampa and DIY and going for the tag titles and those tag matches into his feud with Ciampa. That's legendary. Remarkable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They can always go back to the well with him and Ciampa too.
Always.
They're like, I think Ciampa and Gargano are their homegrown version of Sammy and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, 130%.
Yeah.
Perfect. We got the $1 million champion, LA Knight, defeated Cameron Grimes to retain the title, and Cameron Grimes is his servant now.
It was a fun match.
It was a fun match. Dude, you know what? He looks great with that title belt, huh?
Yeah.
I know you weren't that crazy about LA Knight. Now is growing on you?
Yeah, I'm getting sold on Eli Knight. I'm
Eli
getting
Knight?
sold on LA Knight.
Why couldn't they just call him Eli Knight?
Or just Eli?
I don't like Eli.
No, why not?
You know who I think of Eli? Did you watch The Good Wife?
No.
Okay. I did. I love that show.
Yeah.
Love lawyer shows.
We have different tastes in shows.
I do. I watch TV like a mid-40s housewife.
Glass of wine. Couple of Quaaludes.
And I'm good. I'm just chilling.
Calling the male escort service.
Hi, darling.
It's me.
Send Pablo over.
The usual.
The
usual.
It's Thursday, my usual. I'm drinking gin martinis in my silk robe.
I do not like gin martinis.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what? Little vermouth in my vodka.
Yes.
Like splash it out.
Dirty. I want more.
Dirty.
I want more olive juice. I like a dirty martini.
You know what? Let's do that for your birthday next Tuesday.
Dirty martini?
Yeah, can we do that? You want to do that? Okay.
Hell yeah.
Can we get martini drunk?
Oh,
Midday martini drunk.
And let's drive around like Jimmy Uso. No, let's get martini drunk.
Yeah.
And we'll be responsible.
And take an Uber.
Of
course.
Zoe Stark and Io Shirai defeated NXT Women's Tag Team Champions The Way, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Cool. We got some new champs of the deal. I think Mr. Gonzo highlighted this for a very specific reason.
Where were we? Zoe Stark. Oh, yeah. The man. So, fascinating moment after this.
Yeah.
Did you see the return?
What return? Oh, Dexter Lumis?
No.
What?
Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis.
I may have stepped away to do the dishes.
Stop.
Yeah.
Chat room. Tell Rich who returned.
Who returned? Who showed up? What did I miss?
You missed it, man.
What did I miss?
Teagan.
Oh, Teagan Knox? Oh, I saw that like ahead of time.
What do you mean?
Yeah. I'll send you the link.
Not Teagan. I'm sorry.
Teagan Knox. Yeah, she came back like the other day.
Yeah.
But not on NXT. Or I'm sorry.
What happened?
I got up. I did the dishes at the end of this match. I missed whatever return happened. I saw the Dexter Lumis thing.
Okay. So Candice is in the ring.
Okay.
Lights. She's the battery.
Okay.
Teagan Knox is the battery.
Okay.
That was the reveal.
Okay.
You missed the big reveal.
I missed the big reveal.
That was the biggest story, that Teagan Knox is the battery.
Great. I'm glad I did I did the dishes at this
She
point.
came out with her big giant knee brace. The mechanical knee brace.
All right.
I cannot believe you missed it.
Sorry, guys.
What were you doing? Watching Seinfeld?
I was doing the dishes. Someone's got to do them.
By the way, they are running the Seinfeld angle where he's the butler. That was the first season. Remember, that was the original concept that Jerry gets into. That was a concept of Seinfeld, right? The original pilot was that he got into a car accident. The guy couldn't afford to pay the bill, so he became his butler. That was the original episode. Wasn't that the concept?
It was supposed to be the concept, but then they turned that into the pilot within the show.
Yeah. You know that they do not, that show does in syndication, they never air the first season.
Really?
Yeah, George was a real estate agent and he was selling a house to Jerry, an apartment. Yeah. And it didn't, it was like a really weird show. It had nothing, it was so different.
Fascinating.
No, George was trying to find a house for Elaine and it was bizarre, very strange show.
Very, very interesting. I do like it, the Seinfeld. It's good when you're doing something in the house. It's good for background noise. And we also had, all right, this is like a very splitsy thing among the fans. You had Hit Row's North American Championship Cypher celebration.
Okay. Let's talk about this.
Celebration is Swerve Scott winning the North American title from Bronson Reed. I enjoyed it. Swerve friggin' knocked it out of the park.
Dude, they were great. I know a lot of it went a little long. But it wasn't it wasn't a promo. It was like their celebration, so it was going to be a long segment. I thought it was good, man. I think. By the way, they look great. Hit Row.
Yes.
Like the package is a cool package.
Good package. Good for Swerve. Good for everybody involved. It's a good group. I want them to continue being a solid group. You know? Because you have I think what adds a little depth to it is you have the one female in
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's great.
How did you feel about it? Did you like the rapping?
Yeah, I liked it. They're good. They're talented.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. No, I thought it was cool. I didn't hate it. I think it went a little long though.
Okay.
I think that was a big complaint. I think there is something interesting about the whole act though. I'm curious how it'll evolve, but I think there is something interesting. All right, what else do we got?
Adam Cole beat Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah,
fun main event. Yeah, really good match.
What do you do with these two now?
I put them on SmackDown, please. I think it's time.
Both of them?
Yeah. One on like. Let's wait till the live crowds come back. I think Adam Cole will dominate a live crowd.
Yeah. Well, he needs to go back to his old theme.
Yes.
Undisputed Era theme.
Yeah.
I don't know why he didn't keep it. They got rid of it, and I think that thing was over.
Weird shit.
Really weird, right?
Yeah.
Like. Karrion Kross, Johnny Gargano with Samoa Joe as a special referee. Next week on NXT, Vince visited the Performance Center. Rings.
Guys.
Meat. So a lot of speculation on who's going to be called up.
Yeah.
The big rumors are Karrion Kross, Bronson Reed, Scarlett, Shotzi Blackheart, and a few others. There were tryout matches at SmackDown and Raw. By the way, I don't know. Did we discuss the main event appearance of Karrion Kross? We might have, I believe.
We did a couple weeks ago. How like they didn't do his music or entrance.
Weird. But you know what? For a reason, it was weird.
Yeah.
But that show is not very popular. Main event.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
I think it's more for international markets, right?
I think the call up is definitely going to happen because of Karrion Kross's promo on NXT the other day.
Phenomenal promo.
Him saying, there's 3 things I wake up to worry about: never losing the NXT championship, headlining WrestleMania, and becoming the WWE champion. I don't think they would have approved that verbiage if they weren't going to call him up.
Yeah.
I think he's going to make an impact. But again, where do you put this guy? Do you put him on Raw or you put him on SmackDown? If he's on SmackDown, he's going to get eaten by Roman Reigns.
I think it has to be Raw. It has to be Raw.
It's got to be Raw. He's got to be like Karrion Kross versus Lashley, Drew McIntyre, the bigger guys, Seth Rollins. That'd be fun. Cesaro would be great. I want to see Getting Loose. What time's the train?
I still got time.
Yeah?
I missed it.
So the potential call-ups are apparently Karrion Kross, Bronson Reed, Scarlett, Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah.
Who else could you see jump?
Well, I mean, essentially anybody and everybody. The way that they do call-ups is kind of everywhere. I think Bronson Reed definitely.
For sure.
I see it. But you still need to keep something on that other roster. So I don't know. Does Ciampa? If you have the 3 core guys of Ciampa, Cole, and Gargano always there, but you need to move those guys too. You know what? Tony Storm, he's another one. You're not hearing about that.
Yeah, Tony Storm would be
Taya Valkyrie.
That would be put it with Morrison and Miz.
No, I would just bring her up because she's a good hand.
It's this generation of NXT is very interesting. I do think you're gonna get not El Phantasmo. You're gonna get El Phantasmo moving somewhere.
Yeah.
Especially because there's like that lack of Latin star power on the main roster.
Yeah, big time.
And when they start touring again, you want these guys on the tour.
Yeah, but Humberto's back, right? Where's Garza?
I don't know. I feel like
you got talent there.
Yeah.
We'll see. Dynamite Road Rager live from Miami. The first live show away from Daily's Place in 16 months for AEW. I do want to say you could see some of the production hiccups.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was poor. I thought the show was really good. Okay. Great show. Had a lot of fun with the show. However, I do feel that either it wasn't mic'd properly, the fans, or the crowd was very dead for a lot of moments. And we'll get to it when we talk about this. Did you feel that it wasn't mic'd properly? First of all, I got to tell you, visual-wise, like the color was a little off, which is fine. They'll figure that out because they just got to get into the groove of things again. I don't think the crowd was mic'd properly because there were a lot of dead moments, or it could have been a quiet crowd. I don't know. They had about 3,500 people there.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
They made it look massive.
I not because of lack of sales, just because it was a smaller facility, but it wasn't as much as they had at Daily's Place, but they were a little shorter. But it looked like a lively crowd. I know people had a lot of fun, but I do think that it wasn't mic'd properly, which is fine. That'll be different. The show opened up with a Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall strap match. Traditional. You got to touch the 4 corners. The crowd loved Cody. The lights went off during this.
Right.
and then came back on. Production problems. They said. I thought this was a good match. What did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I thought the crowd was really into it. And I don't know, for me, like I was listening to this like full blast last night. It sounded awesome.
You did? Okay. Yeah. So it sounded bad to me.
Yeah. Okay.
I just felt that it was dim.
When you watch wrestling, do you watch in the bedroom or down here?
In the bedroom.
Do you have it low or loud?
I have it loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the match. I like the 3 crossroadses.
Yeah, he killed him at the end
to murder QT Marshall. Yeah. A lot of fun. Marshall. You have Kenny coming out looking like a lot of people who are probably hanging around South Beach.
So Kenny Omega's new thing, he comes out with Don Callis. Crowd is chanting, "You got fired," to Don Callis. Don Callis with the line of the night says, "Real men don't quit, they get fired." So the crowd was into this.
Yeah.
And pretty much the promo was that he's beaten everybody. There's nobody left for him to beat. And out comes the, I was going to say Inner Circle, the Dark Order.
Yeah.
Dark Order comes out. They say, "Why are you dodging Hangman?" Then the Good Brothers come out, becomes a schmaz.
Well, Kenny, I get why people don't like this version of Kenny.
Do the line.
Yeah, I get why people don't like this version of Kenny, but I love it. I eat it up. Like the most cheesiest joke in the world. Like, "Hey, Evil Uno, what's the capital of Thailand?" And he kicks him in the dick and goes, "Bangkok, baby."
Freaking great. Freaking great. Hey, I want to continue this, but I want to give a little shout out to our boy, Jonathan Risk. Jonathan does all our graphics here. He's one of our producers along with MG Geek, and he started a nonprofit, yearforeverhome.org. That's YERRRR, the number 4, everhome.org. You could go there, donate. You could buy a shirt, and the proceeds go to saving these animals, which is unbelievable. You could also donate there. There's a donate button. You could shop there. Let me go to the donate button and see how this works here. I'm just trying to load it up here.
He is an animal who loves animals.
He's an animal that loves animals. I think, listen, man, in knowing him, he's a tremendous animal lover. You have a few options when it comes to donating. You could choose from the donation pack below when you go to their website on their donate section, or you could put in an amount that you want. You could do anything: $5, $10, $50, and this is. It's a great cause. We all love our animals, especially Jonathan. He's our animal. He is a Tasmanian devil, though. Which you look at him, that's what I see now.
What animal would Mr. Gonzo be?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be. I got it. A jackal.
Really?
He'd be a jackal.
All right. So odd pick for an animal.
I don't know. I couldn't think of an animal. I couldn't pick up the animal.
I was gonna call him Johnny Porcupine.
An aardvark.
Just aardvark. All right.
An aardvark. You can go there. So go check it out. Here we go. All right.
You're a gazelle, by the way.
I am a gazelle. I'm smooth like a gazelle.
Smooth.
That's my line. Every time I shave my arms, I go to Jess. I'm like, "I'm smooth like a gazelle. Touch me."
Smooth and very skittish.
Skittish.
All right.
So we had Kenny Omega come out, and then we got the confrontation with Hangman, where Hangman, his music popped, that building blew up.
What a shirt, this guy.
Oh man, he comes out with the tassels on his shirt. He does the whole thing. He goes to do the bug shot. He stops.
Yeah.
So we're setting up the match for Chicago, which we'll be there for.
Very excited about that. And you get like the Good Brother Schmaz and all that stuff. And then, you had your Darby Allin, Ethan Page interview with Jim Ross, like talking about their history. That was great.
Yeah.
Also, at some point, I think it was right about here, you got the Carl Anderson calling out Jon Moxley. They leaned into the IWGP stuff.
Heavy.
And they showed the clips of Carl winning the G1.
Yeah.
Representing New Japan, going back to New Japan. And then I was like, next week's my birthday, July 14th on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, what a birthday present.
That's a great birthday
present. Carl Anderson versus Jon Moxley.
What happened to the WWE working with New Japan story?
Yeah, what happened, Andrew?
I told you my theory. I think it was big, fat baloney lies.
Absolutely.
From WWE.
I think so, too.
It's my theory.
I think so, too. I agree with that.
I can't wait till someone quotes that. Andrew Zarian says it was a big fat baloney lie.
Andrew said it was baloney.
It was a big fat baloney lie by WWE.
Imagine if somebody goes like all these guys love to like post and like write about the stuff you say. Imagine if they take it out of context and they go, Andrew Zarian says this is a big old ham sandwich.
I would be happy with that.
Andrew Zarian calls WWE a big ham sandwich. We had the Pinnacle, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, and Wardlow with Tully beating the Inner Circle, Santana Ortiz, and Jake Hager with Conan.
So Conan, I thought it was weird how they did that. Conan comes with the sock of coins and he hits Wardlow with it. Wardlow no-sells it.
Yeah.
And he gets murdered by Tully Blanchard.
So good.
Tully does, messes up his leg, does a shoulder tag. I guess what? Shoulder block? Shoulder block to his
Chop
leg.
block, yeah.
Chop block. And he goes down, and then that was it, They put a beating to him, and that's it. Chris Jericho and MJF face-off, standoff. We had that, preparing them for a match. Britt Baker's Blood Money promo. Ooh boy. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, really, really, really strong.
Go into it.
Strong promo, man. She called out everybody from Nyla Rose to Vicky Guerrero to even Rebel Reba and
WWE.
And WWE for I'm paraphrasing here, and I don't remember the exact quote, but she said, I think what she said was, if you want your blood money, why not make a deal with Saudi Arabia?
Unbelievable.
Right?
Unbelievable.
How crazy, man. Like, are you leaving? Are you shocked that you're out of here? So nuts, man. And like her promo, complete fire.
Yeah.
Complete fire.
Great job. Then we got the Aleister Black Tommy End debut. He is now, what's his name?
Oh, we skipped over a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry. Go ahead.
So you had the MJF and Jericho face-off where you got a glimpse of a fan charging the ring.
Oh, yeah. Freaking fan rushed him. Jericho got popped him.
Punched him.
Got a nice pop on him. Like, you waited 16 freaking months to rush the ring, dude?
Yeah, dude. Don't rush the ring, guys.
Can we not rush the ring? Because I really want them to beat the shit out of them when they rush the ring. I don't care.
Yeah,
rush
absolutely.
the ring. I really want to see them get destroyed.
Absolutely.
Like, I look forward to it when
yeah.
they rush the ring at this point.
Do you want to see somebody get punched in the face?
Punch right in the schnoz.
Because you know what? You knew something was happening when you saw the quick shot of it and then security running down behind the promo happening.
Yeah.
I
like that Jericho had to get the shot in, though.
Yeah. Jericho. And they caught it on camera, too.
Yeah.
Why? After so long? Why would you do
Why?
that? Why? Do you think people get so invested and hateful in this stuff that they can't control themselves?
They think it's going to be funny. I think people are just dopes. I don't think it's out of hate. I think it's like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to rush it.
It's okay. It's wrestling.
It's wrestling. What are they going to do? They're going to throw me out. Worst case.
Boy.
I'll sue them if they hit me.
You also had Andrade's debut beating Matt Sydal. Guy looks great. He came out like a Yankee.
He did come out like a New York Yankee.
Like a Janky?
I had a problem with this.
Why?
Couple issues. First of all,
one,
the mask is cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Hard to get out of that outfit.
Very hard to get out of that outfit. Those pants need to go.
Yes.
Guys, the pants need to freaking go. It was reminiscent of his debut in NXT with those stupid pants. Remember his stupid gimmick? We had the suspenders and the pants and the freaking hat. Get rid of the pants, guys. Maybe it was, this is how I saw it. Maybe it was like, I'm not even going to put effort into this because I'm so good.
Okay.
I thought Matt Sydal looked really good, and I think Andrade was okay.
Okay.
I think he was, I don't know. Maybe it was me. I didn't enjoy the match as much as I thought I would.
I think it had a slow start, and I think, again, this is from a fan's perspective.
The pants fucked it up for me, man. I couldn't get over it.
This is from a fan's perspective. I think the first couple of minutes, Andrade was overwhelmed by wrestling in front of a crowd for the first time in who knows how long.
Yeah.
And then once they started to gel, I really, really enjoyed it, and the crowd got behind Andrade. It
was okay. I'm not gonna judge it based on that one match. But I'm very hopeful that Andrade, by the way, they got a great roster now. They got some really good workers on this roster.
These dudes could wrestle. Everybody could wrestle each other on this roster for the next 10 years.
Yeah. But look, you got Miro, you got Andrade, you got Neville, right?
Cody,
Edge, Christian.
Christian, John Moxley, Dean Ambrose. Right?
I'm pulling a Jim Ross. WWE Dynamite was great.
Isn't it interesting how it's like we just named all the guys that WWE effing failed?
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Right? Like
sometimes it doesn't work.
How did they drop the ball with Dean Ambrose, putting him in the gas mask and all the nonsense, where this guy was a world champion?
Comedy writing.
Everything
is comedy writing.
How do you drop the ball with Miro, making him a cuck?
That was Paul Heyman, right?
How do you drop the ball with Neville, making him like a chode? Like King of the Cruisers was cool, but he had so much more potential, right?
It's tremendous.
Same thing with Cody. He's the son of a plumber.
And they made him into Stardust.
They dropped
By the way, and he got it over.
He got it over. He got it over.
I gotta say, I enjoyed Stardust.
Christian, I feel like Christian's an anomaly. Christian
never should have gotten over, if you think about it, in that era.
In the Attitude Era?
Nah,
dude. You know why? Because these guys like clunked each other with
on paper
for like 6 years.
I know. Well, yeah. But I mean, it just shows you the tremendous talent, right?
Yeah,
like if you look at him, he's a normal looking guy. There's no cartoonish aspect to him.
Yeah.
He just got over on his ability to deliver great matches, and people found him interesting.
Yeah. But he's a great worker, great mind for the business. He looks great. Like his. But
would you say that you would have guessed that Christian would become world champion in WWE?
No.
No.
I'll agree with you. I think his promo last week, and they showed a clip of it this week, was him going, never trust a guy with a bad haircut and ill-fitting suit.
He's talking about me.
And I think that was like a little coy dig at Vince, but not like, I think they're still buddies. I do firmly believe that these guys are getting texts from Vince and Hunter almost regularly.
Oh yeah, I think they talk. Listen, everybody talks.
Yeah.
Everybody talks.
Yeah, I think the emphasis that fans put on, like, oh, they're the rivals, they're the enemy. It's a different landscape now.
Yeah,
where a couple of months ago, I think on Gallows and Anderson's podcast, they were interviewing the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks revealed like the conversations with Triple H.
By the way, MSG's almost sold out.
Wow.
There's 2,300 tickets as of an hour ago.
Wow.
So it's probably sold. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's 2,300 tickets left.
So I was saying, like, the Bucks have said, like, they've revealed their conversations with Triple H, and they were like, before, like, we did the deal with Tony Khan, we were going to sign with WWE, And it's like, these guys all text each other,
Yeah.
So who's to say that Triple H isn't texting Cody or Kenny Omega saying, hey, congrats on the show last night?
Yeah.
I think it's a very give and take industry at this point. It's not like I want to see these guys murdered anymore.
Yeah, because you know why?
Got to keep the channels open.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because WWE's not threatened, and the talent's not threatened that they're going to go out of business.
Right.
Very different time frame. The war of the 90s really was based on WWE suffering for a while and then coming back and never wanting that to ever happen again. And that's why they were so aggressive with content purchases, the trademarks, the non-competes, the lawsuits. They got very protective.
Yeah.
Because they almost lost it. I mean, the story about how they were taking the water coolers out of Titan Tower. Listen, I don't think they were on the verge of like collapsing to that point. I do think it was going to be a very difficult ride for them if Vince went to jail. If Vince went to prison in 93, whatever it would have been, it would have been a very different conversation.
He's got that Monet.
Yeah.
So let's get to what we've been hinting at. Not hinting at. Well, we've been hovering around this the entire episode. Formerly Aleister Black, formerly Tommy End, debuted last night as his new character, Malakai Black.
I think it should have been Macabre Black.
Mardi Gras Black.
Mardi Gras Black. It just comes out with beads and shows
like,
you.
Wow, baby.
Malakai Black. So the crowd was chanting Tommy.
Right.
And I believe it was Excalibur that said it's Malakai Black. You know what's interesting? I feel like these guys all spoke to one attorney.
Yes.
And he was like, hey, guys, by the way, you don't have to totally get rid of your name.
Right.
You could keep aspects of it. Like, think about it. Like, I mean, the Christian situation we know, but he used that name years before.
Christian Cage,
but they tried to come after him for using the term Christian, right? Andrade's still Andrade.
His name.
Aleister Black is still Black.
Yeah.
So they're still keeping their names to some extent, which I find that to be the fascinating. I mean, Miro, he's going by his first name, so that's fine.
So it's easy.
But he could have gone with something. Would maybe? I mean, I guess he was one name, right? Well, wasn't it Alexander Rusev, right?
He could have gone as Mosev or something.
Andrew Rusev.
Andrew Rusev there. So he comes out. Black Master Arn. Arn sells it. Black Master Cody. Cody sells it. Lights go out. You see all this stuff
by the way,
down.
Still selling the eye.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really
great
cool.
Commitment to the history of the person.
Like he's so intelligent, and I think he'll go farther than you think with AEW. You know, Kenny Omega versus this guy. Everybody versus this guy, right? Cody, Kenny, Hangman, John Moxley. Forget it. Like it's a WrestlePalooza. It's a huge WrestleBoner. So
huge WrestleBoner.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like we were talking about this ahead of time in our group chat. How did this guy appear last night? He was within his 90 days.
Yes.
Right?
I guess that was the meeting.
So the speculation was, okay, maybe Thea Trinidad worked something out and they worked something out where he could appear somewhere, right? Apparently, the verbiage in his contract wasn't updated to a main roster.
Fascinating. Contract. Interesting. Is that what it was? Where did we see this?
That's what's going around. That apparently NXT talents have a 30-day non-compete.
Oh, interesting.
So his verbiage wasn't updated when he went up.
Huh.
And I think, like you said, everybody's got the same lawyer. Somebody found that loophole, and this guy's in the clear right now.
I haven't seen that. But it's very possible. Yeah. I think that's very logical. But PW Insider had that story. Thank you, MG.
Okay.
I haven't heard that, but I could tell you that, and Dave confirmed it. Okay, so I that's fascinating.
Pretty neat.
That's a big oversight.
Yeah,
that's huge a big oversight. Yeah.
Clerical oversight.
Listen,
you F up two lines of
it happens.
Yeah.
It happened. We've seen the story, right? They let The Rock's contract. By the way, that's one of the best stories about how they let The Rock's contract lapse by mistake.
Yeah. By mistake.
Yeah. But that happened with Jeff Jarrett,
yes.
You know, and Jim Ross has been pretty vocal about how, you know, they dropped the ball on that.
Listen, it's a big company.
It's a big company. Things like that happen. By the way, I made a very similar mistake.
Oh, yeah?
With something else.
Uh-huh.
I had a contract lapse, and we have a non-compete with people, and I realized that I never put the non-compete in that person's contract.
Oh, okay.
And they were very gracious to agree to not use anything.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, you know, it happens.
I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
So
you want to talk about how I'm lacking buttons? Look at this.
So, are you just gonna rip your buttons out? So Dan Lambert.
Yes. Oh my dude. Can we talk about this freaking promo?
Go ahead, please.
He was Jim Cornette.
Yes.
So Dan Lambert is, I believe, the trainer for America's Top Team, right, in Florida. MMA group, right? Jorge Masvidal was there.
Amanda Nunez.
What did they call him? Nunez or Nunez? What did they call him?
I don't know.
I think he referred to her as Nunez, which either way, it's fine. They were out there. First of all, Masvidal looks insane, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I was blown away at the ability that this man has to cut a promo.
He's yelling at people all day. Of course he's got the ability to cut a promo.
No, but my God.
Yeah.
Natural.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay? I don't know much about this guy. What a natural promo.
Yeah.
Not a stutter. Everything was from his mind. He name dropped. I mean, he did the Jim Cornette thing where he's like, the wrestling today sucks. AEW sucks. And I think the swerve was everyone's like, but you know what? I came here, I met these guys, and I got to tell you, AEW's great. Nope. He goes, and it still suck, and you guys suck. It's bullshit, whatever. And here comes Lance Archer. And Lance Archer murdered him.
Yeah.
And this guy took a big bump.
Huge bump.
Huge bump.
Huge bump. And he sold it the best out of anybody I've seen take that big thing where when he was up in the air, the camera caught him going, he like silence. He mouthed a WTF.
I thought that was a spot on the night for me.
Let me tell you something. AEW, when they've brought the outside people in, they've all hit a home run.
Yeah.
Shaq.
Yeah, they do a good job with that.
Dan Lambert.
Because they don't make them look like fools.
Snoop.
They don't make them look like fools.
Yeah, dude.
That's the thing. They don't make Shaq grovel at a, normal. They put their guys over. I mean, listen, it is different to have. Can you imagine WWE doing that?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Lambert was in TNA as Bobby Lashley's manager, I believe. Yes, he was.
Right.
Yeah. Phenomenal. He was so impressive. But would WWE ever allow an outsider to go there, show up? Dan Lambert is currently also doing work in MLW. That's absolutely right,
cool.
Joel. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Joe Pearl.
Is it the Joe Pearl? I think it is the Joe Pearl.
I think it is the Joel Pearl.
Joel Pearl, it is.
Sean's there's the doppelganger, the mirror images.
The mirror image, yeah.
The mirror universe of you and I, Joe Pearl and Sean Ross Sapp.
Yeah, that's it.
Andrew Zarian and Rich Stamboli.
That's it. That's how we do it.
And when we meet in Chicago, we'll turn into one
mega blob.
One big podcast.
Like an Akira blob?
Yeah.
With just microphones for arms? Can you imagine WWE be like, hey, by the way, go out there, cut a promo, and talk about how much we all suck, and it was so much better years ago.
Right.
Very good job. Very, very good job.
We also had the main event, which I really enjoyed. Young Bucks, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson with Brandon Cutler beating Eddie Kingston and Penta Zero Miedo. I really thought Eddie and Penta were going to take it.
Dude,
but
crazy match.
Great finish. I thought for sure when the thumbtacks came out, Mox was going to show up and F up Carl Anderson.
Something. I thought so. You know what, though? I think it was done
very well.
Everybody looked good in there. Yeah. But you got to give Kingston a big win.
Oh, yeah.
I think that win should be in New York. I have him and Miro go at it, have him win the TNT title in New York at Arthur Ashe.
Absolutely.
Big moment.
Have you ever seen somebody take a super kick with a mouthful of thumbtacks?
Every day.
This is every day on the subway.
8th Avenue and 34th Street. Get off there at Penn Station. Right there. Everybody, just all those guys have thumbtacks in their mouth.
For various reasons.
Yeah. Needles in their pockets and thumbtacks in their mouths. That's the look over there. I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. Fantastic job. Yeah. Great show. Very much enjoyed it. Now we're going forward to next week. I'm going to speed it up here because we're running out of time. Guys, Q&A questions. Get it ready. We didn't even mention this. The roster cuts from 2 weeks ago. Tony Nese, Fandango, Everrise, August Gray, Tyler Breeze, the Singh brothers, and Arturo Rojas?
Arturo Rojas, Marina Shafir, Kurt Stallion, and Kenise Mobley, who was a writer.
Yeah. Yes.
She was the writer that
said that she called Bobby Ashley and really pretty much said that she doesn't really know wrestling. And I think it was me that said it. Yeah, it was me.
Yeah.
A lot of the talent felt upset.
Yeah.
Forget about any political motivations here. I think a lot of people were like, "Whoa, she's woke," and blah blah blah. Forget about that. But when you are going on a show and you don't know the champion's name,
right,
that you're writing for, and this isn't. Can you imagine the guy that writes, one of the writers for Grey's Anatomy, not knowing, Meredith Grey's character, not knowing anything about it? I'm giving that as an example.
Sure. It's an interesting example. We watch very different. Do you watch Billions?
I didn't know, but you know what it is? I don't really watch too much TV.
Yeah.
My wife does, however.
Okay.
So it's whatever I pick up from there. I just watch conspiracy videos like Aliens. That's all I watch all day.
I do know that.
Aliens, everything about Aliens.
90 Day Fiance?
90 Day Fiance and Aliens. That's it. By the way, I want to. People ask me about Aliens. I'm going to tell you something. I absolutely love like Coast to Coast AM, like Art Bell, George Norrie, George Knapp, all that alien stuff. Do I necessarily believe all of it? Not really, maybe a little bit. But I love a good conspiracy theory, and the wackier the better. Like Mole Men, I'm fascinated by.
Oh, absolutely.
Not that I believe that they exist, okay? Not that I believe it. Absolutely. However, I find these stories, that's my fiction. These are my H.G. Wells novels. It's YouTube videos of dummies believing that, the earth is flat and there's mole people coming out of the sewer system.
All right.
So she was let go, obviously. A lot of the talent was not very happy that a writer is representing the company on a podcast, on a pretty popular podcast, and not knowing the content of the product.
Sorry, I didn't mean to no-sell your moment thing. I was doing
I know,
clerical thing. Sorry.
All right, let's do Q&A.
You want to just do into the notes?
Let's go Q&A time, baby.
All right. From Twitter, Jones143, what do you think? Who do you think returns when fans come back? I feel Raw needs a huge boost of something. LOL.
As my father would call him, John Cena.
John Cena?
Yeah.
All right.
John Cena
agree with that.
Booker T are my father's favorite wrestlers. And the Usos are Guyanese
Yes.
or Jamaican. He always asks me that every time. Are they Guyanese?
That's hysterical.
Every single time.
All right. Vibor asks, do you think Goldberg should show up at Money in the Bank after the Lashley Kingston match to set up their SummerSlam match?
I don't know. Lashley needs a big time opponent. Do you go with a legend, or do you go with someone that's going to have a very competitive match and put on a good match? I don't think a good match is what WWE's looking for here for SummerSlam. They're looking for an attraction that goes over. But by good match, I don't mean like the match. They don't want a match that works. I'm saying they don't give a shit about a 4 or 5 star match with this.
I think it's Lashley's time. I think you get Goldberg, Lashley beats Goldberg.
See, and then here's the other problem.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other problem, and I know people are going to get upset. Do you beat Goldberg? Do you beat Goldberg?
Yeah, you beat Goldberg.
Should you beat him on TV? But I'm not saying that should Lashley beat him, because the answer is yes. Lashley should beat him, but should Goldberg be beat on TV, on pay-per-views?
I think so.
Why not save him for these special moments?
I think it's time. I think with Lashley and Goldberg, people will turn around and go, "Oh shit, he beat Goldberg."
Yeah, because remember, he got murdered the last time he wrestled.
Yeah,
he got killed.
Yeah, I think it's Lashley's time. I think they need him with that belt for a little while longer. He looks great. He's earned it. It's different than the gender run. Like I think the Lashley stuff is still percolating.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think, this is from Vibor, do you think SummerSlam could near the 50,000 attendance mark in the coming weeks, considering the rapid ticket sales?
I know that an option was to open up more seats, so I don't know if they're going to. I know that was in their play. They want to see how well they can sell the tickets. It is a big weekend in Vegas, so there's going to be a lot of people there, so they might open up more. It's possible.
Transferring Heat Podcast, we got to do this one really quick.
Okay.
Transferring Heat Podcast asks for us to book Hogan winning Money in the Bank this year.
Oh, dude. He comes from under the ring.
Like through the ring or from the apron?
No. Comes through the freaking ring, right? And he's like, and he goes, "I'm here, brother," and he just rips the apron with his shirt. It's like in one piece.
I like that.
He is the apron.
Oh, come on.
And Hogan just it's a 30-minute match of him just climbing the ladder. One more step, brother.
Oh, it takes him forever to climb the ladder.
And then he falls off of it to the outside.
Yeah. Oh, no. Does Hogan do a celebratory bump off the top of the ladder?
Like this. Whoa!
Not only the longest climb to the top, but the longest fall.
Well, I feel like he's so dense. He's so dense, it would just put a hole. There would be like an imprint of his body.
He gets sucked into the ring almost, right? Like a black hole.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Brandon's World. I have tickets to the July 23rd show in Cleveland. Should I be concerned about how much of the show is going to be in Cleveland? What?
Oh, because they're splitting them.
They're splitting. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're probably going to do 1 or 2 matches from there. But I think you'll still have a great time.
Yeah.
I think you should go.
Yeah, absolutely. Ayaz, the Grape, who just left the chat room. How big is Karrion Kross? Will he be the little guy?
He's a big
on the
boy.
main roster?
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's like 6'4" and change, right?
6'4". I think he's the same height as Randy.
Tim Anger, should the Undisputed Era rejoin together and go on SmackDown?
Yes, I would love that. I would love a reunion of them.
I agree with that too. We got a super chat here, guys. If you want your questions answered more quickly, super chat us. We'll bump you to the top of the line. King BPH asks, any new SummerSlam news? Cardi? Brock?
Cardi's pregnant.
Yes.
So I have no idea if that changes anything.
Dave Chappelle.
I would love Dave Chappelle to be the host.
Dave Chappelle hosting SummerSlam would be tremendous, dude.
Oh my God, I would love it.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's Ashley. You like my Dave Chappelle?
It's a pretty decent Dave Chappelle.
A little bit.
It's late 90s Dave Chappelle, which I really like.
I love late 90s Dave Chappelle. Yeah. That's the best one. I don't know. I think, that was a plan. Listen, everybody, the Brock stuff has gotten out of control.
Oh, for sure, dude.
The Brock stimulation, speculation,
whatever you want to call
it. It's gotten really crazy. Here is what I know. Mm-hmm. They wanted Brock. For whatever reason, the plan didn't work out. I believe it was creative-wise. It just wasn't fitting. Financially, they want Brock to commit to live shows. They're working it out.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen unless something goes tremendously terrible, which I don't think it will.
Right.
And I think we're going to see Brock. I just don't think he's needed for SummerSlam if they have this planned out already.
No.
I listen, if Brock calls him, is like, hey, listen, I want to do it, then yeah, they're going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
But I don't believe Brock's going to be on there. I'd like to be wrong. I would like to be. I mean, I'm saying that I would like to be wrong. Like the Aleister Black stuff. My opinion was that he's probably he's more likely to go to WWE because his wife is there.
I think everybody said that too.
I don't know about Brock right now. I know that he's in the plans. They're going to do something with him. I just don't know what yet.
You know, the Brock thing's interesting. He's such an interesting guy. Like, who's to say that he sent a memo to WWE saying, like, leave me alone between July and September. I'm going to sit on my couch and just eat potato chips.
You think that's what he does?
And he's just like,
what's his favorite potato chip?
Lay's. Classic Lay's.
Classic Lay's.
Classic Lay's. He's got bags and bags and bags surrounding him. And that's it. And he doesn't even put on weight. He just gets salted up for the rest of the year. All right. Tim Lee asks, I do wonder if Dan Lambert comes back. Does he come back with King Mo? Dan Lambert and King Mo have been doing things in MLW, so who knows?
I don't know, but he's very talented. Very good at what he does.
Hothead asked, do we have our tickets to All Out? They're selling out fast. I believe we're being taken care of.
I have to pay for some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the extras.
Yeah.
The extra guys.
Yeah.
We're showing up with like a ridiculous crew.
Yeah. I'm buying 8 tickets.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jeff Samuel asks, hey guys, question. I wonder if AEW could bring Lambert with his stable in MMA like King Mo. Maybe Tom Lawler and Low-Ki would be awesome to face Eddie Kingston on the mic.
Yeah. It's possible.
Let's see. What else have we got here? Brendan Santoro. I think this is going to be the last question.
Okay.
Any update on the location of the SummerSlam takeover?
As far as I know, it's Orlando. I don't know. I know that Orlando was the backup if they weren't going to get a building. So I don't know. I would imagine that to do it the following day with all the resources going into Vegas, I would find it surprising if WWE ran a show on Sunday in a big arena in Florida. Okay. I think that it would be difficult because a lot of the resources are being pulled for this. They need to pull this off. So, but you know, it's a controlled environment at the Performance Center, and those guys you could just keep those guys there and just do a show from there.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like a little bit of a letdown, right?
It would, but you know, logistics. Sometimes they just get in the way of things.
NXT was pumping the other night.
NXT was great.
Yeah, because they didn't have the screen. They actually had people. I wonder how many people were in attendance. A couple hundred, right? At least.
I think the top is like 350. So I don't know if they had 350, but maybe a couple hundred, you know. But that's always been the problem there. One more question. Here we go. For the Money in the Bank, who you want to see win, Matt Men? And do you think we get a slow feud build between Jinder and Drew at SummerSlam in tables, ladders, and swords match? Yeah, I saw the sword stuff that they did. I don't know. Who do you want to win Money in the Bank? I really, to be honest, it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't
like
matter.
They've made Money in the Bank into this whole nothing thing where it truly means nothing at this point.
I'm going to give it to Drew so he has to hold a sword and a suitcase.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate that briefcase.
Yeah.
I really do. I think putting it on one of these top guys, it becomes a detriment. I would like to see people cash in quick.
Yeah,
I know that it's like a thing that they like to hold throughout the year and hold it over people's heads, but
yeah, straight up.
I want to see a quick cash in again. Just get it off somebody. You know, use it and forget it. So that's that. All right, guys, that's it for this week. We'll be back next Tuesday. You want to do it?
You want to do Tuesday?
You want to do Tuesday?
Sure.
Or do you want to just go and drink?
We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll be back next week. Actually, next Tuesday, I cannot get too drunk. We cannot get too drunk.
Okay.
I have to do a show next Tuesday.
Okay.
Next Tuesday, I'll be live on the F4W page We're Live Pal with Garrett Gonzalez and Denise. Thursday, we'll be back with Matt Men. And then when is Money in the Bank?
Next Sunday.
Yeah, we're doing it?
The 18th?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back for Money in the Bank. All right, guys, I'm leaving. Sayonara, suckers.
Later.